Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Factorio Poleworld. So, I did spend some time, probably more than I would have liked, to set up a couple of things that I said I would in the last episode. The first one was this power switch to control my water supply to feed into my steam engines when my accumulators get low. So, this will prevent my coal from being consumed just for power, because I have a ton of solar power relative to the size of my factory right now. So I wanted to just run through this, and this might have come from some other folks, but this kind of design, this setup, I took pretty much directly from Shred Guy 99 on YouTube. So I've got a bit of wire circuit conditions here. I plopped down an accumulator right next to my pumps, and the accumulator outputs a signal, and that signal is how much charge it has. So if we look at this decider combinator, we can see right now that accumulator has 80% charge, and that's going to be static for all of the other accumulators in my power network. So as this charge goes down, this is going into the decider combinator, and when it gets to less than 10, this input, when I have less than 10% charge, the decider combinator outputs another A signal. And that A signal only has a value of 1. But then that feeds into an arithmetic combinator, which takes that 1, multiplies it by negative 40, and then outputs A to be negative 40 at that point, because I have a 1 coming in, so it's negative 40 as an output. And that feeds that back into the decider combinator. So it is taking the sum of whatever this is outputting plus negative 40 when this is lower than 10%. So at lowest, I will have a signal of... I'm going to try to explain this. I'm going to probably fail. So I will have at lowest a negative 40 being fed into this decider combinator. And at greatest, I will have... I want to say 50, but I don't know if that's correct. Probably 40. So what's happening is, we can see it happen right now. When this gets to... when the decider combinator gets that negative 40 back in, we can see it right now. And the output of A to 1 is getting fed back in. So this is going back up. So I still have less than 10. So that signal is still getting sent here, which is still multiplying it by 40. So it's still taking the sum of this into this to give me that. So I'm about to hit... let's see. Actually, I want to... Oh, I just probably freaked it up. Yep, I did. That's okay. Okay, so that's not connected to anything else. This just lets me see how much charge this accumulator has. And that's not... It's not a good idea. All right, we'll put that one down. Okay, so this is a totally isolated one. So right now I had 51, whatever. So we're in the middle of the day right now. Well, we're in morning. So back to this. The signal gets reduced by 40. It's fed back in. So when... Oh my gosh, my math is going to be really, really bad right now. So the signal will only become positive when it's this parameter, this 10, plus the positive value of this, right? So 40. I'm trying to explain this a little better. I'm trying to think about how to explain it, so my apologies. So once the accumulator here, it's 50% charge, this will no longer output a value. No, that's not right. So, okay, sorry. So when this hits 50, this will no longer output an A, right? Because we're looking at one. So, and this is way more complex than I actually expected. Even though I've set it up a few times, trying to talk through it helps me understand it too. So the decider combinator outputs an A. So when this is outputting an A, that means that the accumulator is at less than 10% initially, and then less than 50% after its initial trigger. And that turns on these pumps, all three of them, so they start feeding water into the boilers, which go into the steam engines. Wow, this is something that I never could have come up with on my own. It's probably very standard stuff for a lot of folks, but this is great because then you're not using your coal supply, and you're only using your solar production. You're only using your accumulators at night until they hit that 10% charge. And then you have that little bit of boost from your steam engines. Eventually I won't need it. And I'll be able to tear all of this up because I'll have such a large solar network that it's not a big deal. So, I really appreciate this design. Whoever first came up with this or imported into Factorio is great. So the next thing was trains and how to unload trains evenly. I found a couple designs on how to load trains evenly. Fine, that's great. It's not what I was looking for. So I did this little, probably pretty bad hack job. So it's very straightforward. All it is kind of a self-regulating system where I have the belts reading their contents and just keeping it on hold. And that is only linked to one inserter. And when the belt is empty, these will only be carrying iron ore. They will trigger and drop whatever they can. Be it 2 or 10 or 13 when I get stack inserters down here. And that's the same thing for all of these inserters. So, and then I have splitters, and then I have a hack splitter over here just to try to balance everything out, as well as I can, so that both of these sides of the belt get loaded. Because if I used a regular splitter, I would only see half of the belt getting loaded. Just the nature of how the inserters unload. So I did that for both my iron and my copper. I reconfigured this a little bit so that I have some more space. There are more straight lines. Seems to be working out great. Seems to. And I think this will be kind of self-regulating because as say that right now, but we'll see. Looks like this one has a lot of iron in it. I don't know if this is a residual kind of leftover from when this particular set of inserters wouldn't have anything to pull, but I did change the iron dock down here to finally include, I don't know if you can see it very well, but this set of inserters down at the South Iron Mine. So I feel like I'm pretty good spot, honestly. Like, these are simple solutions to a problem that doesn't necessarily need to be addressed. That's a good kind of solution for that kind of problem. So I have continued on with some research. My robots are getting quite numerous. Honestly, I screwed around for quite some time, so it's not a surprise that I have a lot of robots. Check that out, 195 robots total. I'm pretty happy with that. So now is just kind of more research. We need some beacons eventually. See, all my blue science is backed up. You know, my robots are doing the job. My blue science is getting manufactured fast enough right now, which is great. Overall, the factory's in a pretty good spot. I know I keep saying that, but I really like where it is right now. Except this mess of a pathway. So let's go do something really boring and lay down some solar panel. I'm going to continue to pimp out my my suits of armor, as the faster I can make fusion reactors and shields Mark IIs and a couple of battery Mark IIs, the happier I'm going to be, because I'll have some legs to run around with, and I'll have some excellent shields to fight some big worms, and that will help me later on when I can get some better robots and whatever, these disposable robots. And get all that happening. Solar panels. Let's go lay some solar panels. Oh, I figured this out too. It was pretty dumb. I did not figure it out. Never mind. That's really too bad. I thought I had by laying down a hack splitter, but I think I'm misunderstanding how these work. I don't know. Alright, let's take a ride on FARL. Let's find a place that we want to lay down some solar. We'll go right here, just under North Copper. Set that to manual. Let's get some batteries. You know what I'm going to do now? Yeah, I'm going to do this because I think that's a really good idea at this point. So let's get rid of that. RMod. Let's see, look at that. I don't have a provider chest for green circus, it seems. Whatever. Have some circuits. Also want to have some landfill on hand. That's nice. What's the circuit condition? This is less than 20. I'm going to take all of those. And my personal robot board requires steel and batteries. Let's take one of those and we'll go in steel. Steel. Take two of those. I'm going to make another one of those as well. Or a new one, I should say. That 6 and 40, so just that is going to be enough. And then get some electric engines. We will upgrade this arm. So this one is a good bit of research away. Sorry, I built this factory so nonsensically. Okie dokie, so seconds or so more, 15 seconds. See, these guys are they're doing their job. This is really nice to have. Let's see, so This last one is never off-putting anything. Let's some coal into my logistics. Actually, we'll put on the new armor. That takes care of some of it. I can fit legs in here too. So for those, and we'll stick. Now let's keep a shield. So that's okay. Yes, that is just fine. I have some robots, and I can start working on blueprints. Finally, oh my gosh. Okay, that's fixed some of that. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. It's Factorio good enough. Holy crap, I have 92,000 coal left in my original stockpile. That is very low. Because I'm completely set up for smelting those. It's going to be kind of a pain. That was a mistake. That's okay. Set up completely for coal smelting. I had to make sure I have some backup reserve for electric furnaces. That's this one. Here, I'm going to stop research for a little bit, just because I'm concerned about all of the resources that I'm burning. There's a train up. Which is good. There needs to be a train up here. I don't think there are going to be many trains. Down. Oh, you know what? Didn't mean to make some substations. So let's set up some blueprints. Standard blueprint. Not perfect. Good enough. Right, so that's good. Let's deconstruct it. I did say I was going to stop science. Speed is important to me, so let's just work on speed for now. All right, well, here we go. Such a nice thing to see. Have robots doing all of this work. It's really nice. I'm going to help them because I'm feeling like I'm crunched on time for some reason. For no real reason. Yeah, that doesn't go there. That is for this guy. Oh, I messed that up. See, I'm doing stuff manually, and, you know, the robots can just handle it better than me. Gotta go get some parts for all of these substations, and I really need to get substations and power poles, all of that fun stuff. I really need to get that automated. Yep, I really need to get that stuff done. So that's not bad. Oh, see, my accumulators were low, so my steam engines picked up, contributing what little they can right now. So this means I need a lot more solar panels, which means I need a lot more substations. Why is that not getting built? Oh, because this little guy. There we go. Okay. So looks like that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. Feel like I'm picking up into this game. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again some other time. I think the next step, now that I've got some fancy armor, is to develop the next level of shield. After I do the next level of shield, I'm gonna take FARL and I'm just gonna go explore. That's what's next. So, hope you join me for that. See you next time.